we're going to have fun. And if you don't know what an amphibian is, we're going to share it with you during the show at some point, all right? So no worries. But guys, so before we start, we have to go over rules, all right? The first rule is we have to make sure we all stay sitting down, because if we stand up suddenly, we get scared of the animals. Second rule is if you have any food of any kind, there's no eating during the show. And so make sure you keep all your food away, keep your hands out of your mouth. And the last rule is to make sure you all have a good time. You guys ready to have a good time? Yeah! Alright, cool. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a map of our world. Now, I need a volunteer to help me hold open the map of the world. How about you right there? Come on. What's your name? Megan. Okay, Megan, you hold one side. I'm going to hold the other side. And there's our world, you guys. Now, in our world, we have continents. Can you guys say continents? And today we're going to see animals from 4 of our 7 continents. We'll see animals from North America. Everybody say North America. And South America. And Asia. And Australia. And let's not forget the island of Madagascar, which is right there. So we're going to see animals from all those places. Now, Madagascar is not a continent, it's an island, but we're going to see animals from there too. Now, the first place we're going to see animals from is Madagascar. So, everybody give Megan a big hand for holding you open that. And we're going to put it right back here. With that said, we're going to see our next animal. The next animal we're going to see, I actually found in this book also, it's called a snapper turtle, an alligator snapper turtle, one of my favorite turtles, and his name is Groucho. So I want you guys to all say, Groucho, cheer up on the count of 3. Ready, guys? 1, 2, 3, go. And everybody say hello to Groucho, the snapper turtle. So this is Groucho, and Groucho is an alligator snapping turtle. You know what, guys? Groucho has grown a lot. I didn't realize it, but I was just looking at a video of him last night that I had someone took a video of me with him when I first got him about 4 years ago, and he was a lot smaller, so he's doubled in size since I've got him, so that's really cool. Now, Groucho is an alligator snapper turtle, which means his bite is like an alligator. So everybody go, ah! Everybody go, ah, la, la! Now, Groucho doesn't sing, but what he does is he wiggles his little worm-like tongue around, and fish see it, and they swim right into his mouth. Now, everybody put your hands behind your back, hands behind your back. I'm going to let you look inside of his mouth now. You'll see, what looks like a worm is not really a worm, it's called a filament. Everybody say filament. All right, now everybody look inside of Groucho's mouth. Just look inside. Put your hands behind your back, guys, hands behind your back. Honey, go like this, go like this with your hands. Good job, good job. Here, now look at Groucho's mouth, look inside. You guys see the little worm, go throw it over at your own hand, Groucho. Right here, look. Here, open up. And you guys see the little worm inside, the little filament, can you guys see it? It's a little pink thing in there. Alright, you guys. So that's how Groucho goes fishing. So I'm going to show you exactly what happens now. The reason I put your hands behind your back is because if your hands get too close, this is exactly what happens. So we're pretending this is your hands. So you're swimming in the water, and you're like, oh, I want to go fishing today. I'm going to go grab a worm out of the water. And as soon as you go grab a worm out of the water, this is exactly what would happen. Just like that. And we're like, oh, but really, it's really not funny because if your alligator snapper turtle gets a hold of your hand, this is exactly what happened. They wouldn't let go, and they can actually bite your fingers off. And fishermen from years ago would hunt alligator snapper turtles until the point they were almost extinct. They had to list them on the endangered species if they overhunted them. They called them loggerhead turtles, and they would overhunt them. And actually read this in a National Geographic. I got one in 1986. It was a 1986 issue of National Geographic. They talked about these turtles being overhunted, and they would take thousands of them out of the water because they were easy to catch. Because they just sit there like big logs and they just haul them onto their boat. But one fisherman hauled it onto his boat, and he was like, oh, I'm going to go get some more worms. And not thinking about the worm in his mouth, but like really get some worms from his tackle box. And he forgot about the turtle. He reached back to go grab something, and then pow! It bit 2 of his fingers right off. And it happened instantly, but I mean, the turtle was a lot bigger than Groucho, but Groucho was going to be 200 pounds, you guys. You know how big 200 pounds is? 200 pounds is like maybe 40 pounds heavier than I am, 160 pounds. So it'll be 240 more pounds, and like me crawling into a ball, so it'll be like this big around. So it'll be huge. And that's how big Groucho will be when he's full grown. So anyway, guys, let's say, oh wait, one more thing. Remember we looked at the scoots when Groucho's Polly's back? Remember we counted the scoots? Well, Groucho has the same amount. He also has 13 here, 26 on the outside, but guess what, guys? Groucho has 3 extra scoots here, 1, 2, 3, and 3 extra scoots here, 1, 2, 3. And you know what, guys? The only other turtle that ever had 3 extra scoots on each side, guess what? It's a dinosaur called Triacetelus. A dinosaur. So, oh guys, sit down, sit down. See, guys, no, sit down, guys. Sit down, sit down. Good job. All right, guys. So, guess what, guys? Groucho is actually related to a dinosaur. So when you look at Groucho, it's like looking at a dinosaur. So on Monday when you go back to school, you can tell your friends, I almost saw a dinosaur on Saturday at the West Babylon Library. Anyway, guys, let's go say goodbye to Groucho. Say bye, Groucho. All right, guys. And you know what this means? This means that we have one last animal to see. And the last animal we're going to see is right here. Her name is Wally. And I'm sure some of you that have seen the show before remember Wally. She's one of my favorite animals. I've worked with her the longest of all the animals I have here today. And that was about 14 years. And on the count of 3, we're going to cheer her name. Ready, guys? 1, 2, 3, go. Wally! 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 All right, guys. And everybody say hi to Wally. Say hi to Wally. She's spicy today. Say hi to Wally. Everybody make sure. Say hi to Wally. She's waiting to see her. These names are no worries. Say hi to Wally. Hey, guys. Hey, guys. So, now this is Wally, my American alligator. Now, I've worked with this same alligator for 14 years. I'm just going to kneel that here for a second because she's getting a little heavy. Alright, so I worked with Wally for 14 years. And during those 14 years, we've become used to each other now. And it's kind of cool that I'm with Wally because I've seen Wally go from pet shop to pet shop. And she ended up with me in the end, so it was kind of cool. I was really happy to have her. And the reason I got Wally, guys, is because I knew my last semester of college at Stony Brook that I was probably going to do animal shows as a career. And at first I didn't. My friend actually made me business cards my last semester. Like, Eric, just do animal shows. Why are you going to go to vet school? Don't do that. Just do your animal shows. You really love it. And so I'm telling you guys that because it's always important to do what you really love. You don't do something just because of the money or something like that, because if you do what you love, then you'll be happy on the inside. And that's what matters the most. And so that's why I ended up getting Wally. You know what? I really love Wally. Maybe I'll get her. And I thought about it for like a day. And then I did a show, a library showcase show. And they were like, listen, I borrowed the alligator from the pet shop. They're like, listen, if you bring Wally back, we're sending her to Florida. And I'm like, oh, are you serious? He's like, just keep her. If you want to keep her, just keep her, and we'll give you the paperwork so you can get your license, and don't worry about it. And I'm like, really? They're like, yep. And so that's what I did. And here we are 5 years later, and I still have Wally. She has her own pool, and she's actually grown a lot. Now, the pet shop, the reason they had to get rid of her was because she was getting too big for the pet shop. They didn't have enough space for her, and alligators will only grow to the size of the environment that they're in. So an alligator like this should be, well, Wally's 17 years old. She should be at least 6 or 7 feet, or even 8 feet at this point, and weigh at least 150 to 200 pounds. But she's not because she was raised in captivity. But since I got her a big pool, and she grew about a foot in the last 5 years that I've had her. So that's really good because their growth rate their growth spurt stops after 15 years old, and then their growth rate slows down significantly. So she actually is still growing, so that's a good thing. Now, guys, we can't.